Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Badger. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my Liberty Falls high round guide. Now, to start us off for our loadout, the gun overly doesn't matter because we will not be using it for the most part. Whatever gun that you do put on, I would recommend putting on a suppressor and extended mags. Suppressor makes it so you get more salvage drops, and salvage is very useful, especially in the strategy that we're going to be using. Now, for our tactical lethal and our field upgrade, we're going to be using Ether Shroud, Decoy, and a Molotov. The lethals I've found in this game have not been overly powerful. They don't feel like how OP they were in Cold War, so I didn't even really use it as much in this game, besides on like insta-kills. For Gobblegum, if you have a Perkaholic, a Wonder Bar, a Raindrops, anywhere but here, Shields Up, those are going to be your best friends. Soda Fountain even if you really want to. But I didn't even really use Gobblegums besides just getting the Wonder Weapon off rip, which I have another way to show you that you can actually do it for free with no Gobblegums and no nothing. Now, augments, I don't have a lot of augments unlocked at the moment. The one I would highly recommend getting as fast as you can is More Health with Juggernog. Absolutely is just mwah, chef's kiss. Another one that would be very helpful is having a second Ether Shroud charge. And if you don't have Ether Shroud, use Frenzy Guard. Forgot to mention that earlier. Frenzy Guard and Ether Shroud are the two best specialists, like hands down. The Elemental Pop Electric Cherry augment is also very good. If you have it unlocked, I would recommend using that as well. Alright, now getting onto the setup, if you want to turn on Rampage Inducer at the start, you can. I didn't. I turned it on once I actually got like officially set up. And another tip is look inside of the cars and underneath the tanks and stuff, because there's gonna be zombies kind of just chilling around in these areas. And when you're going for headshots, you're gonna get the most points, and points are kind of hard to come by, especially in the early rounds of this game. So that's why I'm just making this note here and now. As well as to go build the Jetgun, which is what we're also gonna need. I will leave a link to that in the description. It's like a 1-minute guide. It's not that long. While you're also in the spawn room, make sure to not open this door right here going towards the bowling alley. This is where we're gonna be camping, so don't open that door. And here is the trick I was talking about earlier. Once around, you can go up to this vending machine and knife it, and it has a chance to drop you a ray gun, a jet gun, like vending machine chips that you can't use, points, guns, like literally anything this machine can drop you. In this game on round 4, I knifed it and got a ray gun. That is just insane. Don't expect to always get a ray gun or a jet gun though. The ray gun really isn't even necessary for this high round strat. It just helps with taking out manglers at the end of rounds. But you do 100% need the jet gun. Now I'm just showing the door from the backside here. This is where we are going to be camping. These spawns are so ridiculously fast, and with how good the jet gun is and how good the score streaks are in this game, it's a breeze. It's still harder than Cold War, but that also isn't really saying that much. But once you're here, just make sure you don't open that door that's right behind you. During the low rounds, you're going to want to grab Jug, Speed, and Quick Revive. Those are going to be your 3 best perks. Unless you get the ray gun first, then you can grab PhD. But you want to spend most of your time in these lower rounds just gaining salvage, because you're really going to need the salvage in the first couple of rounds, and just saving up points so that we can pack a punch our jet gun and our ray gun. Alright, but let's talk about the actual strategy. So for the lower rounds, this strategy is actually going to be harder than it is in later rounds, because you have to try to manage all of your salvage. Now, the way I would recommend even running this on these lower rounds is to not even use the mutant injection at all unless there is an abomination. The abominations are very annoying to deal with in this game, and the mutant injector is the best thing to take care of it. So I'd recommend only grabbing a mutant injector for the first like 30 rounds, only when there's an abomination, to try to save up your salvage. And if you're using your gun with a suppressor that grants you more salvage, you might have a little bit more leniency than say I did, because I was just using the ray gun, which isn't going to give me as much salvage as if I was with a suppressor. But if you just have like a normal zombie round, the jet gun is perfectly fine in terms of surviving the round. The ray gun's also very helpful in the early rounds, but it won't be as helpful in the later rounds. That's why I said it really wasn't needed. Now, the best way I found to use the jet gun is just kind of tapping the trigger unless the zombies get way too close to you, and then I would say that's when you're allowed to hold it down a little bit. But try to conserve as much jet gun ammo as you can before letting off the blast, because the blast is also going to be really good against manglers. So as you can see right here, I got an abomination. We popped the mutant injector, and it takes about 6 to 8 hits to take care of an abomination, depending on the round. The lower the rounds, the less it's gonna take. The higher the rounds, the like 2 more hits it's gonna take to actually kill it. Also, don't use your cannon, only melee. The cannon is very weak, and the melee is gonna be your best friend. When I had my Jetgun at least double packed, I went ahead and turned on the Rampage Inducer. This is gonna help with the lower rounds until the zombies start super sprinting, because then you're not wasting your salvage as much. But then when I got back in the spot, it was pretty much running the same exact strategies we were earlier. I tend to sit in this left-hand corner because I feel like I can kill more zombies with the Jetgun. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's where I just felt probably the most comfortable. As soon as a Mangler got in tight, I would go up to where the stairs are, or at least try to, and then I would use my Jetgun blast, and this kills basically everything. And then if that was not the end of the round, I would go ahead and pop a mutant injector, and I would finish off the round that way. So the 30s to the 50s are honestly going to be the hardest rounds, just because you're not going to be getting as much salvage, but you're not going to have enough in the Jetgun to finish out a round. So this is where grabbing chopper gunners, hellstorms, RCXDs, and even mutant injections that other Manglers drop is going to be just your best bet, because that way you're not wasting salvage, and you're still able to kill with the score streaks, and that way you're also saving your salvage, so that way you don't have to keep wasting it on mutant injections. Mutant injections can spawn from abominations or from Manglers. Normal zombies cannot drop it. Manglers and abominations will also drop hellstorms, RCXDs, and chopper gunners. They're not as good in this spot because the zombies tend to run into the bowling alley, but you can still get kills with it. It just won't be as effective, but if they're there, why not use them? So to play out a round if you have a mutant injector is to essentially use up your Jetgun until it has to blast, and then once you run over to the stairs and blast it so you kill all the zombies basically in a circle, that's when you would pop your mutant injection, and then that kills any zombies around you. You are also invincible while using the mutant injector, and then you just go ham in melee. Since the zombies are super sprinting, they're super fast, so they're just going to keep piling in. And if you use a mutant injector and let's say the round ends a lot earlier than you thought it was going to, just stay in the mutant injector. Don't exit out of it. You're gonna that's a waste of salvage. Stay in it and get as many kills as you can. Another thing I want to mention before we get into the late round strategy is sometimes the craft station, if you exit out of it too early, it won't let you essentially like open it again. But for the late round strategy, literally nothing changes. It is the exact same as we've been running it. You use your Jetgun until it's about a blow, and then you explode right next to the stairs, killing all the zombies in a group. And then I would also recommend spamming your mutant inject button after you use your Jetgun, because you do get the invincibility frame, so all the zombies can just group up next to you and you won't take any damage, and then you can kill them all once you go into the mutant injector. It's kind of sick. But I wouldn't recommend going over the stairs with the mutant injector unless you're trying to get to a Mangler, because that might push zombie spawns back a little bit, and then you're not going to get as many kills with the Mangler. But I don't know if that's fully true or not, so I normally just tend to stay below the stairs. Let's say your mutant injection runs out and you haven't killed off the round. The good news, if you're only going to 100, there's not going to be that many zombies left. Even if it seems like there's a good chunk spawning, there normally isn't actually that many. If it really does get out of hand, just use your ether shroud and pick up another mutant injector and use it. Like, I didn't have to use this at all here, but I did because I was on 99 and there was only a total of like maybe 30 zombies left, but the main issue is the Manglers, and the mutant injection is perfect at taking Manglers out. But yeah, that's my round 100 strategy. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
With